Okay, so if there's no further question, then let us move on to module 2, flashback the past 2 months. So this is what I'm going to do, right? For this workshop, I won't be running day by day. Day by day means that for the past 2 months, there'll be 60 days that I'll be covering. I won't be doing that. I won't be doing day by day for the reason why, number one, that's how I mentioned already. There are certain days that's too good. You can't find any incident to back it up. So I will skip those days. Or I can't find any events or incident to back up those hexagram, even though it's lousy one. I will also skip. But if you know of such incidents that I fail to report or fail to share, you do let me know. Yeah, you do let me know. Okay. So I'll just cover what I can back up on. Okay. And also I'll share with you my thought process. Okay, my thought process, how I read the energy, and how I do projection as well. Okay, so we learn from each other. You may have your own way, you may have your own technique. You just share. Okay, it is not that I share with you, mine must be the best way. No, so we should learn from each other. Okay, let's flash back the past 2 months. The past 2 months, now, just to orientate you to this chart, this is the entire year 2022 黄金金饰 chart. Okay, and you find that the what do you call that? Where's my pen? Okay, here. This is the year hexagram. Okay, year hexagram. Let me clear away the ink first. And then this side here, this column here is the 2 month. That means the 60-day hexagram. And then here will be the 10-day hexagram. Okay, 10-day hexagram. So total there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagram that falls under that 60-day hexagram. Right. So I hope you still can remember from the previous workshop. Okay, so right now for this module, we're going to flash back at these 2 months, 60 days, the Ming Yi Gua. Okay, the Ming Yi Gua, and then subsequently the internal 10 days, the breaking down of the 10 days. Yeah. Okay, so before that, let us, my thought process is always like that. I always have at the back of my mind, what is the overarching energy for the entire year? For the entire year, it will be this Ji Ji Gua. Okay, and in the Ji Ji Gua, it says here, you have come a long way, but the journey is not over. Only one part of the journey is ending. Stay balanced, or else the road ahead could become bumpy. Okay, so this is the overarching energy that will be at the back of my mind when I read on the rest of the energies for the month, the 10 days, and the day. Right? So the entire 2022, it seems like, it's going to have 一波未平,一波又起 that kind of indication. If you look at the, what do you call that? The verse here, 一波未平,一波又起. That's number one. Next, if we look at the transiting energy means 季季卦 transiting to the 60-day hexagram energy, which is a 明夷卦. 季季 to 明夷. Now, 明夷 by itself, it means difficult time, lie low, darkening. It is as good as, in 2020, the entire year is governed by 明夷卦, darkening. Okay? But in this year, 60 days, that means between 5th October to 4th December, it is again Ming Yi energy, darkening energy. So therefore, these 60 months, if you look at it, is pretty darkening, especially for the Europe side, pretty darkening. Okay, and the advice here is lie low. Okay, lie low. And then if you look at the transiting energy from Ji Ji to Ming Yi, it says here, this is a loosely translated English translation from the Chinese 教士一灵 verse. All right, not 教士一灵, from the what do you call it, the 易经 verse, or the 卦辞. So the loosely translated English translation says, the eastern neighbor slaughters an ox, but his sacrifice does not bring as full a blessing as the Western neighbors' modest offering? A. First of all, the overarching year, the overarching year energy is that, 一波未平一波又起嘛, Okay, next, come down to these 60 days. There's a mention of Eastern, there's a mention of Western, Then remember just now I said about common sense and you need to have a dash of common knowledge about what is going on right now in the world. Okay, so when you see this kind of text, you try to tie it up. Okay, so if you see any insights, do type in the chat box, so that we can share our insights, so everybody can learn from everybody. Yeah, right. The Eastern and the Western. So that means it says here the Eastern neighbor is going to slaughter an ox. Okay, but after slaughtering the ox, it seems that this sacrifice does not bring as full a blessing as the Western neighbor's modest offering. Any insights, anyone? Feel free to type in the chat box. Okay, next. Okay, next. Philip say 各分东西. Okay, 各分东西, very good. That means there is a very distinct two camp. There's a very distinct two camp. One Eastern camp, one Western camp. So it may mean Russia, Ukraine, or it may mean Russia versus US NATO, or it could mean China, Taiwan, all right? Or it may mean North Korea, South Korea. So many possibilities that this verse can apply to. Okay, number one. That's number one. Next, you look at the 教室一零 on the right side. Okay, look at 教室一零 on the right side. It says here, fish and turtles seek the cakes of bait, dying in the nets and fishing lines. Greed was their downfall, and their death is their own fault. Now, a bit of creative imagination and common sense. Can you type in the chat box your best thoughts about this verse? Philip said Dr. M. Okay, Dr. M, yeah? All right, any more? Any more? Very good. Any more? Come on, let's try. Okay, let's try. Everyone, let's try. Let's type something in. Doesn't matter right or wrong, because I may get wrong also. And a lot of time I do get wrong. So I'm saying if you don't try, we are not going to learn, and we're not going to expand our mind, our imagination. So let's try. Type in something. I'm now sharing with you my thought process. Yeah. Kun Yong say Dr. N. Who is Dr. N? Is it M? Mr. N. Anyone else? Okay, you type, and then you listen to me. Now, when I see this fish and turtles seek the cakes of bait, dying in the nets and fishing line, greed was their downfall, and their death is their own fault. Okay, greed caught my attention, Philip say. Now, this is how I understood it to be. Fish and turtles. Fish usually come in schools, right? Plenty. A lot of fishes. School of fishes. Turtles also sometimes may come in groups, big groups. So it seems like it's a big groups of something lah. Maybe people of different breeds, different races, different nationality, different communities. Perhaps, yeah. Seek the cakes of bait. Seek the cake of bait means going to seek some pleasure, some luxury thing, because it's cakes of bait. My bait, when you see the bait, right, it's like, wow, shock. I want to go and have something, have that thing. So it's like different groups of people, going after some luxury or pleasure and things like that, and then dying in the nets and fishing line. Now, nets and fishing line is a boundary to catch all the fish and turtles in together. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is my thought process only. So nets and fishing lines is just a tools or a boundary to capture all these things together. So that means Just now we talk about the different groups of people, different communities coming together to seek pleasure and luxury thing. Okay, it could have entered into a confined area. Okay, nets and fishing line enter into a confined area. Greed was their downfall. So who asked them to enter that confined area, right? If they don't enter, then probably they don't have the greed lah. And they don't have the greed means they don't have the downfall lah. Okay, and then death is their own fault. Oh my God! So that means here in these 60 days, we can expect to see a lot of death because the word death comes out. If it never comes out, it never comes out. Good. But if it comes out, I mean, most likely in these 60 days, there will be some certain deaths, certain incident, very unfortunate incidents that cause a lot of death. Okay, so just remember this. So anyone got any other thoughts? Anyone else? Just share. Doesn't matter. No right, no wrong. So if I were to ask you to summarize, to sum up any the greater themes for these 60 days, what would that be? Type in the chat box briefly. Asking you sum up what would be the theme for these 60 days, what would that be? Next, you type at the same time, listen to me. Okay, because 季季卦 is 水火季季. Okay, 水火季季. 地火明夷 is a 坤卦 and a 离卦. Now, I think in the day hexagram I've explained before, 水火季季 is actually a tug of war between water and fire. Okay, and then if their force are applied equally, then there is a good balance. Nothing happened because good balance. Now, if let's say one side get weaker for whatever reason, the other side suddenly becomes stronger. When the other side becomes stronger, then we see the effect of the stronger element. So if fire is weaker, water will come out to play havoc. If fire is stronger, then fire will come out to play havoc. Okay, so therefore, if you look at the transition between 水火既济 to 地火明夷, give me your best insight. Fire now becomes stronger or water now becomes stronger in these 60 days? What do you think? 既济 to 明夷. Fire stronger? 地火明夷, fire is under the ground. Okay, 地火明夷, fire is under the ground. Okay, thank you, Philip. Water stronger. Water stronger. Okay, so fire is under the ground. That means the water will come out to be king. Okay, if water come out to be king, right? Some more in autumn, that's right, Philip. If water come out to be king, then in these 60 days, what can we expect? What can we expect? We can expect probably a lot of water. Okay, a lot of water. Right? So let's see later on, do we really see a lot of water in these 60 days? Yeah. So this is what I usually do. When I project forward 60 days, I will say what's the overall theme. And then I will watch out in the news for events relating to this overall theme. Okay, this is what I will do. So basically, does I ask you all right, what do you think if I would ask you to sum up what would be the few main themes for the 60 days? Let me see who has responded. Pepe say the Korea unfortunate incident, not sure can apply. Yes, that one can apply. We can talk about that later. Alan say if GE, current Malaysia PM 10, many parties entering into the form government as per King instruction, there will be a washing and restructuring. Cause it will be ugly. Hopefully, it's for own good. Okay, very good, right? Then Mary say Indonesian earthquake. Okay, 2,000 plus death. Financial market, Bitcoin wipe out billions. Death for the investor. Very good, Mary. Very good. Very good. So it's like, people going for something, especially the Bitcoin, and then they get wiped out. Their monies get wiped out. Okay, very good. Okay, so this is what we do. Okay, what we can do to better learn this kind of energies and then project like guru like that. Philip said many things will happen in wave, come and go, not permanent. Very good also. So if you may allow me, I would sum up the 60 days into three main themes. Number one, East and West. Okay, East and West. And we'll find East having to sacrifice certain things. That means the tension between East and West will be very great in these 60 days. Still, if you're talking about Russia and Ukraine, still very great. But then we also see in these 60 days that the eastern side may have to sacrifice certain things. Now, does it rhyme? Can you recall of any incident between Russia and Ukraine? The East have to sacrifice certain things, but the sacrifice like mean nothing to them also. Okay, so that's number one team. Number two team, you probably can see a lot of water incident like flood lah, whatever lah, heavy rain lah, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. Water. Next, crowd danger. Now, why I say crowd danger? Because just now we talk about the fish and the turtle going after pleasure, then got caught up in a confined area, and because of the greed, it caused their own death. So I call it as crowd danger. Now I might even want to move in one more step deeper to say that if there's a crowd danger, how would that crowd danger become a disaster? Let me ask you this question. How if there's a crowd, but crowd is very normal, okay? How could a crowd turn up into a disaster? Pepe said Korea got great man, got when they open up the first time after COVID to have such an event in the street and people going out to have enjoyment, isn't that kind of a greed? Okay. Now, all heading in the same destination. Thank you very much. Okay. And going into confined area. Next thing, the crowd danger one. That's not my question is, how would a crowd would evolve into a disaster? Think about certain kwa that must come out. A crowd will turn into a disaster. Thank you, Pepe Trap. Okay, a crowd will turn into a disaster when a limit has been crossed. Am I correct to say that? Kun, thank you very much. Kun could be one of them when a certain limit has been crossed. Okay, so in the 64 hexagram, is there any hexagram called limit? Have, right? 节, right? 节. 水则节, right? 节卦,水则节. And then there's also another hexagram called 大过,折风大过. Okay, 折风大过 means over exceeding by too much. So therefore, if a crowd build up over exceeding what the police can handle, it is called 大过. Okay, next, 小过 also same thing. 小过 if you don't manage, it will lead on to become 大过. So if I were to look at this and say that there's a crowd danger and crowd can become a disaster when a limit has been crossed, grossly crossed, then I probably will look at days for a 节卦 or a 小过卦 or a 大过卦. Then I'll put in my diary, say these 3 days, watch out for events, especially crowd danger. This is how I gather information so that I can put it into this workshop for you, right? So that's, bear with me. Okay, just remember 节卦, 小过卦, 大过卦. These are the possible 3 days that may run into problem that can lead to death. That's why I say this is called 推理, 推理, reasoning and inference. This is what I Ching is trying to teach us. So if I were to give you a quick flashback, okay, based on what I can gather so far, 5th October to 5th December, this is the 60-day period. Okay, you find that Russia ordered a troop, what do you call that, out of Kherson. Okay, so it's like sacrifice Kherson, right? But in the end, it doesn't seem to be winning the war at all. So, right? So this is one way of the East making a sacrifice, but not much effect. Okay, next. Now, these are the days that I put together, days between the 60 days, okay, 5th October to 5th December, where water incident. Okay, so there are too many of them already. For example, here Mekong River, ferry sink, right? And then the extreme flooding, 15th October in Greece, and then 25th October also Australia, southeast braces for more rain, and then here 25th October, 24 dead, million seek shelter as cyclone hit Bangladesh. 28, Philippines also. Then 29, where is this tropical storm Nalgile slam into Philippines also. Okay, so you tend to see, not saying that must, any other day don't have this one, I have. But I'm saying when it shows up like that, water is stronger. You find that in this 60 day, you tend to see more of such news. Okay, and then continue 30th October, tropical storm Philippines again, or Philippines for that few days are very jialat. And then Singapore also record wettest October in 40 years, right? And then 11 November, Storm Nicole drenches Georgia and Carolina in Florida. Okay, and last but not least, 13 October, flood hit Malaysia during the uh, election campaign. Yeah. Then talking about the crowd danger. Okay, so 149 Q in Stampede at Halloween event in Seoul. Okay, the Itaewon. Next, India bridge collapse, also grossly, exceeding the limit, right? So this is just a quick flashback of the 60 day, right? But that's not enough. Okay, if you want to learn deeper, this is not enough. Okay, so we need to go in to look at the 10 day, 10 day, 10 days so that we can learn better why it has had to happen in these 10 days or why it has to happen on this day. Is that okay? Any quick question? Type in the chat box. If you have no quick question, you just say okay, right? Okay, then I will just move forward. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you, Holly. Let's move on. But if you have question, do type in. So we on the left side, how to read this slide? On the left side, I just put there as a quick reminder of the energies. I call it a transiting energy from 鸡鸡卦 to the 明夷卦. Okay, 鸡鸡卦 to 明夷卦. On the left side, I put there as a quick reminder. Yeah. On the right side here, okay, it is to explain the transiting energy between the 60 month and 60 day, that means the 2 month energy and the 10-day energy. All right. So the first 10 day of the month, okay, the first 10 day of the month is a 乾卦. The first 10 day of the month is 乾卦, humility. Yeah. So what does I Ching says about this 乾卦, the transiting energy? Yeah? If you look at on top here, I Ching Gua, it says the superior person in action does what is right and does not it. Okay, so you the way it's been phrased, sometimes you don't really understand, doesn't matter. Okay, but look for keywords. Look for keywords. Yeah. So if it doesn't relate anything to you, you can put one side first. No worries. Okay. Next, if you look at this here, bottom one, 教室一零, it says the lair of tigers and wolves is no place for humans to dwell. This way lies our disasters. So basically, it seems to tell us that in these 10 days, the first 10 days of the month, it means that there's certain area we shouldn't go to. We should avoid at all costs. Okay, because if you go there, you may cause your own disasters. So basically, this is what it's trying to tell you. Okay, so if let's say this is not looking back, but this is looking forward. Then you're planning on a trip. Okay, you're planning on a trip and you're going somewhere else. For example, Germany, near the border of Russia, maybe. Then if you look at these 10 days verse, you probably will tell yourself that place probably if can avoid, better avoid, something like this. Because it say there is a lair of tigers and wolves, is no place for humans to dwell. That way lies our disaster. I'm just saying out loud. Okay, so if you have any insights from reading this kind of text, do type in the chat box. Next, Then after that, we go deep into the Qian Gua and we look into under this 10 day, what are the individual day hexagram. Okay, this is the one, right? So on this left side here, this will be the verse I put there to remind ourselves the transiting energy between Ming Yi Gua and Qian Gua. Okay. Now, so the Ming Yi Gua to Qian Gua, it says here the layer of tigers and wolf is no place for human to dwell. This way lies our disaster. Now, it seems to suggest that there would be some accidents, some incidents, and some disasters. If I were to ask you, you look at this chart, the 10-day chart, the 10-day hexagram, if there's any indication of accidents, which day is likely to happen? Do a quick one. Out of these 10 days, which day do you think, if accident is going to happen, which day do you think will happen? Not forgetting about the overarching information that we discussed just now. Anyone? Quick one. 9 or 10. 9 or 10 is the Feng Gua. Okay, Feng Gua and the Ge Gua. Okay, Feng Gua or Ge Gua. Perhaps. Okay, Feng Gua or Ge Gua. Perhaps. Perhaps later we check. Anyone else? 14. Fiona said 14. 14 is the Jie Gua. Okay, Jie Gua. Oh, very good. Oh, just now we mentioned about Jie Gua. Remember crossing the limit? Okay, so therefore, whoever studied this, and you know that the crowd danger, okay, the crowd danger, and how to prevent crowd danger is don't cross the limit. So therefore, on that day, if you're managing crowd, then you should be concerned. Okay, if you're doing a job of managing crowd, then you should be concerned. You should put in more manpower, you should put in more barriers, you put in more marshals, to prevent crowd danger. Okay, so basically this is what I'm trying to say lah. This is what the I Ching, this Gua is trying to enlighten us. Okay, to have foresights and insights. Okay, so very good. Feng Gua, Ge Gua, and Jie Gua. Okay, 9, 10, 14. Let's see whether there's any event that I've lined up for you. Let's take a look. Okay, let's look at Ming Yi Gua, 5th October. Ming Yi, it says here. Okay, it says here on the right side. I highlight that's for in the essence of time. I highlight things that I think is of concern. One is the streets and alleys are narrow, allowing no free movement. Oh my God! If the streets and alleys are narrow and it allows no free movement, means the precision must be there. Am I correct to say that? The precision must be there. If the precision is not there, then something could happen. A disaster could occur. So, what kind of situation where it is so narrow and then you need precision and then there's not enough free movement, and when thing goes wrong, it will lead into a disaster? Can anybody think of any kind of situation? Now, when it says the streets and narrow, doesn't necessarily mean it must be a street, it must be an alley. Okay, it could be a passageway. Okay, it could be a passageway. So let's say creative imagination. Now look at actual event. I searched for it. I found this. Yeah, it happened on 5th October. Okay, and what it says here: 31 days after wedding bus falls into Indian Gorge. Okay, now what happened? I dig on further. All I have found out was that this bus was traveling along a treacherous mountain highway in I think in India. Okay, and then I think the maneuvering was not that good, so it just veer off the edge and then plunge. Okay, and then killing 31 people on board. So this is what happened if you see verse like this about narrow streets and alley and no free movement. It can lead to disaster. then in that case, we should, if let's say we are driving, we should be careful, right? Or if you are walking on into a narrow streets, we also need to be careful. Next, 壁卦. Okay, 壁卦. Now, 壁卦 here, I read out the verse on the right side. 10 peasants' hands and 100 chicks waddling along behind the mother. So protective, she would fight a tiger who dares block her way. Can anybody try to do some imagination and then type in the chat box? What do you think? Is there any narrative, any storyline? It says peasant hands, okay, female mothers, yeah, and 100 chicks. Okay, 100 chicks means small children, junior. Okay, so all these junior hide behind the mother. So the mother is so protective of the children that she is prepared to fight the tiger if there is one. Okay, who there blocks her way. Wow. So looks like there is some danger towards children. Am I correct to say that? Okay, there's some danger towards the children, and the whoever the guardians or the mother have to step forward to protect the children. So I also look around and I saw this event on 6. Ex-policeman killed 22 children, 15 others in mass shooting at Thailand child care center. So I'm not sure whether the teachers step forward to help the children or not, to block against these shooters. I'm not too sure. It's not found anywhere in the text. Okay, but it happened. It attacks on small children, the juniors. Okay, so can you see how relatable the energy to the world event it is? Next, 革卦. Okay, 风卦, which Kun Yong mentioned, I couldn't find anything. Okay, so I skipped that day. So 革卦, I found something, so I'm sharing with you right now. In the 革卦here, it says, highlighted one, sudden thunder mixed with hail knocks down the reeds. Now, creative imagination. Sudden thunder mixed with hail knocks down the reeds. What can you relate to? What can you relate to? Sudden thunder mixed with hails knocks down the reeds. Anyone? Alan said natural calamities, probably, yeah. Sudden thunder mixed with hails knock down the reeds. Or if it's man-made, what could it be? Hail. It's like a bomb, missile. Okay, knock down the common plantation, the reeds. Right. So and then there's mention of westward some more, moving westward. So that means if it's moving westward, that means it must be coming from the east, going towards the west, and then drop bombs if it's a man-made kind of disasters. So indeed, on the 10th October, Russia launches the biggest airstrike since the start of Ukraine war in Ukraine cities. Okay, Ukrainian cities. So this is like the thunder throwing down hills into the reeds. Okay, so like I say, man-made. Okay, man-made. That means that there's somebody who has the authority to command this, to authorize this. On that day, if the energy comes, he has the higher urge, okay, to do something similar, right? And he will just go along, but it's preventable. Next, 损卦, okay, 损卦. 损卦 usually this is what I experience. Okay, but don't believe a thing I say. You can do your own research. On a 损卦day, usually there are a lot of injuries and attritions. Okay, usually lah, usually. Okay, so I'm going to show you what happened that day. Causeway, our local Ulan Causeway multi-vehicle accident, right? And then followed by Marsiling Park. Okay, tree can fell onto a jogger. All right. So Wuwang, okay, and then Pakistan got bus fire. Okay, and 18 victims killed. Then Australia also slammed with this. This is a wet weather lah. This is wet weather. This is not sun kwa, but this is wet weather. Yeah. Okay. So I also trace back other Sun day. Okay, other Sun day. So on 27 May is also a Sun day. Okay. What happened? Worker dies after lorry crane toppers at Defu Avenue 2. All right, it's on a Sun day. 20th June also a Sun day. Hong Kong famed jumbo floating restaurant capsized. I don't know this is man-made or it is a unfortunate incident. And then 8th August also a Sun day, right? South Korea heavy flood, record rain. Okay, so Sun day is really Sun. Next, the 节卦. Fiona say the 节卦, huh? Okay, so 节卦, it says here, water above the lake limited. The superior person established the number and measures to clarify virtuous conduct. Wow, I think this is very obvious. It says that water above the lake limited, and then superior person established the limit, the number, okay, and cannot cross the number, right? And then must measure to clarify the virtuous conduct. So most likely, if we talk about the crowd danger, and when you see a 节卦 like this, it might happen. It might happen on this day. Okay, it might happen on this day, right? So especially when a certain event allows someone to grossly cross the limit. So let's take a look. This ferry, okay, this ferry, it sinks in Mekong River, okay, on 14 October, and 14 children died. And it seems that this ferry was overloaded. Okay, overloaded. So therefore, it crossed the limit and therefore it sinks. Okay. Sorry. I was gonna say, okay, 14. Okay, next. Looking at the 教师一灵. Okay, looking at the 教师一灵on 节卦 also. There's a verse here. An animal bound to a tree by a pierced nose, fallen upon by a tiger, a sacrifice to the Queen Mother of the West. Wow. Okay, very specific. Queen Mother of the West. Disaster strikes, but the calamity is not complete, suddenly arising and resolved by itself. Anybody got any insights? An animal bound is like an animal suddenly become a sacrifice. Okay, and then become a sacrifice to who? To the Queen Mother of the West. Now, who's the Queen Mother of the West? Okay, the Queen Mother has passed away already. So this Queen Mother refers to of the West, you know. So this is how we, go about with this imaginative, creative imagination. And then disaster strike, but the calamity is not complete. That means even though you sacrifice this animal, your danger may not be complete. Anybody has any good idea? Can think back during these 10 days, anything happened in the West? Especially you have to sacrifice someone to save yourself, and that yourself could be the Queen Mother of the West. I think so. Okay, but that doesn't solve your problem at all. Can recall anyone or any incident, any event? Okay, let me share with you what I found. Philip said, Liz Truss, Queen Elizabeth. Thank you very much. Okay, indeed it was. Okay, that day, Liz Truss, PM, UK PM, okay, fired her finance minister, Kwa Sai Kwaten. Okay, I hope I'll get his name correct. Okay, he was fired, right? He was fired apparently as a sacrifice to save her position. But as the energy already said, the calamity is not complete. Okay, so therefore, even though firing him can give you a momentary peace or truce, but the danger is not over for Liz Truss. Thank you, Philip. Okay, you can remember back this incident. So everybody can follow so far. So firing him cannot solve the problem for Liz Truss based on what we understand from the energy. All right. Okay. So that actually sums up the 10 days, the first 10 days of the month, of the 2-month period. Any questions so far? If not, then we move on to the next 10 day, which is the Tai Gua. Okay. Tai Gua here. Okay. Tai Gua says what? Wounding the light, wounded in the left thigh, saved by a horse strength, auspicious. Okay. So that means there's some wounding. Could be some wounding, but it's saved by something. So auspicious. Okay, and then here bottom here says though danger pressures urgently, a misfortune if watched for does not occur, the tiger dare not puts its teeth into me, my profit increase. So and then it's tai gua some more. So basically means this 10-day may be a more peaceful day than other weeks, than other 10 days lah. Probably that's what it means lah. But then you see, for example, there's also mentioned that a misfortune you watch for does not occur. Something like that. Even if there's any wound, if it's saved by the horse strength. So that means this 10-day pretty peaceful. Do you think so? Now, as we know, I Ching, no matter how peaceful it is, okay, there will be days of up and down, but probably more up than down. So if we were to trace back these 10 days, looking at this 10-day hexagram, if most of the days are peaceful, then which of the days are probably not that peaceful? There's one way to flip and look at it, right? If Tai Gua is talking about peaceful days, that means not much news to look out for. Then what could be those days that may have news to watch out for? Type in the chat box. Anyone? Kun Yong say 17 and 19. Okay, 17 is Kui Gua. Okay, very good. Kui Gua. And 19 is Lü Gua. Okay. Anyone else? Very good. 17 and 19. I tend to agree with you. Kui Gua, Lü Gua. Okay. Maybe Tai Gua. Maybe Tai Gua. Why I say Tai Gua? Maybe because of Lü Gua. Okay. Because of Lü Gua. Lü Gua means putting on an armor suit, Lü Gua. And then because of this firing, because of this attacking, pushing out the leader, Lü Gua is like that, pulling people down. And after pulling people down, it restored. Okay, it restored certain kind of order. So maybe a Tai Gua is a day that we may want to look at also. Right? So let's take a look what we have. Kui Gua. Okay, Kui Gua says a wandering ghost is homeless, lodging within a stranger's temple. The ornament stone in his mouth, it is only food. It steals the offering of the inattentive, seeing an enemy and losing the meat. Okay, so sometimes you look at this verse, sometimes it doesn't make sense to you, sometimes it makes sense to you, sometimes it makes so specific sense to you. It can happen in any format. But looking at here, it means that, oh my God, then there will be people becoming wandering ghosts. That means disasters on that day. Okay, on which day? 17. And then enemy. See, why homeless? Because of enemy. And because enemy coming, therefore, your dinner, you're going to lose your dinner, you're going to lose your lunch, you're going to lose your supper. So 17 is a day that we may want to look out for. Okay, and indeed, like what Kun Yong says, 17 is a day. Okay, so I have the same thought also. I zoom into 7. So I lock in my diary, say 17, look out for news. Okay. So on the 17th, what happened? Again, Russia came in. Okay. Kamikaze drones. Well, this time use like what Ukraine use, drones. Okay. Kamikaze drones strike Kyiv, hundreds of Ukraine towns without power. Okay. Without power. Now, if you look at this 火泽葵, it is 火泽葵. This 泽 is actually lack of, right? We talk about that in I Ching prediction. And this 离卦 is fire or power. So no electricity. So if you look at this day, it's also it turned the whole town without power. 履卦. Kun Yong also mentioned 履卦. Okay, so look at 履卦, 19 October. The verse here very simply, treading on the tiger's tail. If you are not bitten by the tiger, good luck. Okay, if you are bitten, also good luck. Right? So basically, this is what it means. So treading on the tiger's tail, Li Hu Wei, is so dangerous. Right? So therefore, if you are one person, you need to step on somebody's tail on that day. Please, if you can stay at home, don't step. But sometimes no choice, like this lady here, no choice. Former UK PM, Liz Truss, okay, on that day was doing her very, very best in Parliament to stabilize her position. So it's trying to fend off all the arrows coming from all directions, asking her to step down. So the verse here says, if you're not bitten by the tiger, then good luck. But if you're bitten by the tiger, then good luck also. Okay, so then that happened. Then what happened on the Tai Gua? That's what I mentioned about Tai Gua, right? Okay, before that, the Jiao Si Yiling also said something about the Li Gua. Jiao Si Yiling says, preparing boats in case of flood, lighting fires on the river bank by preparing ahead, future disasters are averted. Now, this is a day when you look at this, you know that, oh, I got to see whether anything can go wrong or not. If there's something that can go wrong, I have to prepare my contingency plan. This is basically telling us to prepare your contingency plan for things that might go wrong. So if let's say Putin saw this verse on that day, he would have done something or authorized something, to put up maybe a stronger defense fort, to prevent attacks or to prevent things from going wrong. Okay, so let us take a look at what happened on that day. Beside Liz Truss, the other part of the world, Putin also demand all Russia war effort as he declared martial law in the occupied Ukraine. Martial law, very big deal, martial law. Okay, so I think Putin must have read this verse to say that preparing boats in case of flood that means contingency plan. So he already go and kick off the contingency plan. I mean, go into martial law in the occupied Ukraine. So this is induced. Okay, the urge become very strong on that day. I might do something, to put up my contingency plan, and he did. Right? Okay, Tai Gua. Okay, Tai Gua, it says here, Jiao Si Yiling says here, looking for jade in the kingdom of Chen, lingering in the eastern region, attending the princess in the fourth month, a return, a leader upholds virtuous power, receiving the blessing. Now, Tai Gua is a day where things, order might be restored. Okay, order must be restored, peace might be restored, something like this. But in this case here, we already got a pre-information that on the day before, Liz Truss was on her very defensive, trying to fend off arrows and trying to establish her position again. Okay, and then looking at this verse, it says here, looking for jade in the kingdom of Chen. It could mean the UK kingdom, United Kingdom. And looking for jade means her position. Okay, in Chinese, old Chinese, right? The jade, the yu bang, it means authority. Okay, and then attending the princess. The princess could mean all the MPs in the parliament. Okay, and then if let's say he is a virtuous leader, then he will receive the blessing. But if she is not the virtuous leader, then he will not receive the blessing. So therefore, on that day, because of the Lü Guang, okay, the day before, and therefore I think she lost the battle and she resigned on the Tai Guang. Okay, resign after 6 weeks as UK Prime Minister. So, Kun Yong, very good. You spotted on 17 and 19 October, even though we say that the 10-day could be quite peaceful. Seriously, for the 10-day, I couldn't sift out any much events and incidents that I could talk about, okay, except for these two. So, good job, Kun Yong. So, I also spotted Xu Gua. Okay, I also spotted Xu Gua, which I thought, hey, maybe I should put it in. Even though Xu Gua doesn't mean anything, it could be a day or some event that can be overlooked. Don't talk also can one. But I thought this was quite interesting because it's so rhyme. It says here, 4 legs, no horn. The ruler is enrobed, touring the south to receive reports, mutually obtaining good fortune. Now, the ruler is enrobed, meaning it could mean what? The crowning of a king. Am I correct? The crowning of a king. Okay, and then there are 4 legs, no horn. 4 legs means kakia lah, huh? 4 legs means kakia. Hokkien, okay, kakia. So that means a king is being crowned, and then got 4 kakia. Rise up the rank. Maybe this is what it means. Because the 4 kakia got no horns at that moment. I mean, not that very powerful, but it's suddenly managed to rise up the rank. Okay, can you all recall anything happened on the 22nd October, Xu Gua Day? If not, then let me share with you. In China, the other part of the world, okay, they have their CCP meeting, very big event, okay, very big event. And on that day, specific day, okay, Xi Jinping received the mandate to continue to be the leader. Okay, that means it's as good as the king is being crowned, or his power become even more powerful after that day. Thank you, Philip. China CCP announcement. Very good. Okay. And in addition to that, he promoted 4 younger leaders. Okay. The 4 legs, no horns one, remember? 4 kakia. He promoted 4 younger leaders, okay, to take up very important position in the CCP. Right? So this is what happened. It rhymes with the energy. Totally. Okay, and one of them is actually from Shanghai. Shanghai is from the southern part. If you can recall one of the verse, it says that here, touring the south to receive report, meaning someone from the south will be the one to be promoted as one of the kaki. So indeed, the Shanghai chief. Okay. Next, 大壮 also spotted something. 大壮 usually 雷天大壮雷天大壮 usually I see as the government taking massive action. Usually I see it this way, authority taking action or government taking massive action. So indeed, on that day also, Myanmar military airstrikes on ethnic rebel groups, kill about 50. All right. Okay, so that ends the 10-day. That ends the 10-day. So let's move on to the next 10-day block called the Fu Gua. Every one of you still with me? Type OK in the chat box if you're still with me. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Kun Yong. Thank you, Kelvin. Okay, let's move on to Fu Gua. Pepe said, okay, though fast. Yeah, like say if I cover day by day, it become, I have to go even faster. All right, so that's why I only talk those essential one. Yeah. But after a while, you get the hang of it because it's the same thing. It's again creative imagination. Okay, here, this 10 days, Fu Gua 10 days. It says here on the right side, wounding, again wounding. Then this time round is wounding the light while hunting in the south, capturing the great leader cannot be correct in haste. Then below, rumors and slanders misleading one another. The tracks by the road are gone without a trace. Oh, so you can expect in these 10 days, there'll be a lot of finger pointing. There'll be a lot of rumors. There'll be a lot of slanders, something like that in these 10 days. Okay. And in addition, okay, Fu Gua. If you can recall in AOM 2, I mentioned when we talk about Fu Gua, I mentioned about U-turning. Can anybody recall what did I mention about U-turning? I want to test who can remember the lessons well in AOM 2 when I talk about 复卦, I mentioned U-turn. So what did I say about U-turn? Anybody can remember? Pepe said never too late to U-turn if make a mistake before that. Okay, very good. You remember. Okay, thumbs up for you, Pepe. Right. So yes, indeed, I mentioned if you discover you make a mistake, okay, you turn as early as you can. Number one. Number two, if you discover that you think you're going down the wrong way, the wrong path, you turn as early as possible. Just like our Singapore government in early 2020s about the mask wearing. Earlier on during COVID, they say don't wear mask. After that, they realize it's wrong, cannot be like that. So they U-turn as early as they could, say everybody compulsory wear mask. This is called 复卦. Okay, and at the same time, 复卦 is 地雷复. Okay, 地雷复. Bottom is moving. Okay, on top is Earth. So Earth is moving. It could also mean that these 10 days we can expect to see some natural calamities like earthquake or like landslide. Either way, earthquake or landslide. Yeah. Right. So we have to just watch out for news because sometimes some landslide too small, they don't want to report, you can't see. Okay. Or earthquake too small, they also don't want to report. Okay. So sometimes it's like that, no choice. Okay, let's take a look. If let's say in these 10 days, if there's any wounding incident or rumors or anything that we think need to U-turn one, which would be those days? Take a look, good look at it, look at the qua. So this is how we narrow down, save our energy and time. This is what I do also. So if you have your own way and it works, share with the group, yeah? Let me repeat my question. In these 10 days, if there's anything that could lead to some wounding incident, rumors lah, slanders lah, or events that may need you to U-turn as early as possible, what would those days be? Well, my guess is Philip said major offense. Okay, 折风大过. Here you go, 折风大过. Danger crowd. We talk about the danger crowd. Okay, so here 大过 comes out already. Grossly exceeded the limit, perhaps. Okay, so good point. Kun Yong say 27, 28. Okay, 拐卦 and 天风够. 拐卦, 天风够. Right, very good. And then Alan said 27, 29, 31, and 3. 27, okay, 拐卦. Then 29, 大卦卦. And then 31st is 横卦. Okay, 横卦 also, 31st. And then third is 古卦. Very good. Okay. Then Pepe said 27, okay, 拐卦. And then 3rd November is 古卦. And 4th November, 申卦. Okay. Philip say confused. Okay, 古卦 confused. Right? So yeah, I tend to agree with what you all have pointed out. I tend to circle them myself also, saying that these are the few days I may want to look out for. If not every day, I'll be very busy looking out for news. Okay, so indeed, let's see whether there's any accident or incident or events that can back up what we say. Okay, let's move on. 大有卦. Okay, 大有卦. Let's talk about 大有卦. Okay, well, I find this day interesting. Yeah. It says here, especially the highlighted one, the official's cap sits on the head. What can it mean? The official's cap sits on the head. What can it mean? I mean, in Chinese, it's called 官帽, right? 官帽, the official cap, the 官帽. Okay, so that means somebody assuming authority, assuming title, assuming position, right? So then we need to know what had happened in the last few days, In the last few days, last 10 days, we noted that one of the prime minister resigned, right? So if you resign, equal cannot have one country cannot have no leaders for a very long time. So they have to appoint a new leader. So most likely the day to appoint a new leader could be a day like this. The officials kept seats on the head. Okay. So that day happened to be the day where this Rashid Sunak, okay, got appointed to lead UK as the new PM. Right? Nothing to shout about, nothing to shout about. Just telling you, because I find this day energy is quite interesting, so I just share with you. Nothing to shout about. Okay, then we talk about this slender thing, right? The slender lah, finger pointing and things like that. Russia also raises accusation at UN of Ukraine's dirty bomb. Okay, dirty bomb. 地雷复. That's how we talk about possibility of natural calamities, earthquake. Now it happened on 25th October, 6.4 magnitude quakes, earthquake. So that happened on 25th October. Okay. Now talk about Guai Gua. Anything happen on Guai Gua? Let's see. Right? Let's see. Here, when I look at the verse here, right, I don't see anything except for, say, the swirling spray flies over it, too moist and low lying to leave, hearts full of sickness and worry. Seriously, I don't really can relate to anything. If you can, you do type in the chat box, but I can't. So therefore, let's see what happened on that day. Putin blast West say world may face the most dangerous decade since World War II. So this could be another slender finger pointing and things like that. So blah blah blah. So that happened on 27. So Guai Gua on that day, luckily nothing happened. Okay, luckily nothing happened. Right? Gou Gua. Gou Gua here says, highlighted one, do not choose the woman. Okay, do not choose the woman because the woman is strong. Do not choose the woman. Wow, suddenly got woman come out. Okay, do not choose woman. Then what it says here, bottom one, going the way of Jie, of Xia, and Zhou Xing, of Sang, they pray but receive no blessing. The mandate is cut off and Zhou decline. Lord Wen veneration is discontinued. So it means that maybe there's some country there is declining and is being cut off from other countries. This is how I take this verse to means lah. That means some country may be losing credibility, maybe on a decline, and then being cut off by every other country, surrounding him or this country. I don't know. Okay, but this is how I read this verse. So let's take a look about what happened that day, 28. Anything happened or not? Do not choose the woman. Okay. Now, on the 28th October in US, something happened. Somebody assaulted US House Speaker Pelosi husband. Now, the husband wasn't the target. Okay, after investigation, it was found that the husband wasn't a target. The target especially was aimed at Pelosi, the woman. Okay, but somehow couldn't find Pelosi at home, so the offender attacked at the husband. Right? So we talk about just now. We talk about do not choose the woman. The woman is too strong. So rhyme. Okay, next. Myanmar. Okay, Myanmar spiral into isolation. I think there's some ASEAN meeting on that day, and then a lot of neighboring countries, ASEAN countries, saying that they're going to isolate Myanmar because Myanmar is not going to do something with their, I don't know, their politics, their governance. So therefore, Myanmar is spiraling into isolation amidst unwillingness to meet peace effort, say analysts. Okay, this was announced on 20th October. Then we talk about water events, right? Okay, so 67 killed as storm lashes southern Philippines. This happened on 28th October. Okay, 大过卦, right? 大过卦. Now, 大过卦 basically means grossly exceeding the limit. And then just now we talk about the crowd danger. So when crowd danger and we see a 结卦, a 大过卦, and that is where my eyes will open big, and so should you also. Right? So what it says here, 大过, it says crossing too far. Okay, crossing too far, submerging one's head, omnibus, no blame. Okay, that means crossing too far. So therefore, when you see a fu in these 10 days governing by fu gua, it says you turn if you see danger. And then when you see a da gua gua like that, on the actual ground, if you see something that's growing in size until a size that you can't control, you better back off. That means you better U-turn on that day. Okay. And then here it says here the bottom one. The traveler, okay, what did I say? Yao and Sun, Yu and Tang, four sages who treasure benevolence, they bring all under heaven into a court. And then what do you call that? They bring all under heaven into a court by the exemplary virtue. The people rest from the labor. Travelers seeing each other from afar, pay their respect. Okay, so we can see here, it mentioned few things here. Number one, the 10 days one, it says that you turn if you see danger. Number two, it says that this day, don't cross too far in. Okay, number three, there's something about the travelers seeing each other from afar, pay their respect. Right? So therefore, this is a day that we should look out for. And Itaewon, was it on this day? Yep, indeed, it was on this day, 29 October. What happened? Okay, a stampede occurs. And because I think a lot of people went into a small alley, and then because the crowd was getting bigger and bigger, the police can't control, and therefore, it crossed the limit that the alley can handle. And therefore, unfortunate things happen in Itaewon. Can you follow? And then water event again, huh? Tropical storm hits the Philippines. Anyway, the water event one, like we already mentioned, in this 10 days, right? We will have, and in these 60 days, right? We will tend to see a lot of water events like this, yeah. Flood lah, storms lah, hurricane lah, all sort of water incidents, yeah. Okay, Ting Gua. Ting Gua. Ting Gua says that here, taking the wrong path and falls into chaotic confusion. Right? So therefore, this is also a day that we need to look out for, taking the wrong path. Okay, if you find that you take the wrong path already, better you turn as early as you can. Now, what happened on that day, on the Ting Gua day? The India bridge collapsed, killing at least 120 people. That's the initial count, 120. I think in the end, they counted was about 150, if I'm not wrong. Right? So this is all on hindsight. Because looking back, everything seems so easy and seems so relatable. Right? But it is more difficult if we're going to project forward, which we're going to go to later on, projecting forward. Next, 古卦. 古卦 will be a confusing day. So, is there anything that we need to talk about? Let's take a look. Okay, so here it says that anything to say about that? The snow falls and the roads are impassable. The wagon breaks down on the strip east. The business traveler is without his family, profit and gain, fatigue and signs. Okay, so it means something to do with when you're on the outside, something might happen, causing confusion. So on that day, former Pakistan PM shot in the leg in clear assassination attempt. Okay. Now, just now when we talk about the 10-day and the 60-day, we mentioned about something wounding, right? And then saved by a horse strength, right? Okay. So if we know that former Pakistan PM would be shot, do you think he can survive, knowing how the energy runs? Most likely he would survive because it's saved by a horse strength. Okay, so this is how energy go, and I think he did survive. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he did survive, and is now under protection if I'm not wrong. Is that okay? So that sums up the Fu Gua 10 days. Feng Gua. Let's move on to the next 10 day. Feng Gua. Feng Gua says here, leaving the gate and courtyard. Oh, there's something called leaving the gate. Okay, leaving the gate. And then the sun and the moon in their courses always reach their destination no misfortune, no calamity, peace, and no danger. Wow, isn't that good? Isn't this 10 days looks good? Okay, so maybe this 10 day nothing to shout about, but there's something called the leaving the gate and courtyard. So for me, I tie this back to this part here called the eastern neighbor sacrifice and ox. So sacrifice an ox and leaving the gate and courtyard means maybe the eastern country, means Russia, may live by the gate. Okay, may live by the gate. And then the bottom part here say the sun and the moon in their courses. That means 河水不犯井水. The sun go its way, the moon go its way, always reach their own destination. No misfortune, no calamity, peace, and no danger. So these 10 days, perhaps a 10 days of temporary peace. Yeah. So wouldn't that be good? Now, if let's say, like the Thai Qua like that, if let's say there's a 10 day of peace, looking at this 10-day hexagram, would there be any day that has no peace that we may want to look at more specifically? Name out the day. Okay, Alan said 5, 6, 12. 5 is Song Gua, 6 is Kun Gua, 12 is Dun Gua. Okay, very good. Pepe say 5, 6, and then 7 is a Wei Ji, 10 is a Meng Gua, and then 11 is a Si Gua. Okay, very good. Okay, so seems like this 10 day is not that peaceful at all. Okay, let's take a look. Alan says should be 11, 11 Si Gua. Okay, Gunyong say 5, 6, 9. Song Gua, Kun Gua, and Huan Gua. Interesting, Huan Gua. I was looking at Huan Gua also. Okay, so okay, that's very good. Thanks for your inputs. Let's take a look. Song Gua, I have nothing to show, so I skip that day. Perhaps that could be something, but I didn't get anything at all. So if you get something, do share in the next workshop saying that, hey, this day I missed. Actually, there's something happening in the world. Okay, but I can't find anything, so I skip that day. So come to Kun Gua. Kun Gua say a metal carriage. It mentioned about something, a metal carriage, coming gradually blocked by a metal carriage. That means something with to do with a metal carriage. Now, in modern days, what could be a metal carriage? You know, creative imagination. And then trap some more. So in modern day, metal carriage can mean a vehicle, a bus, okay, a bus, aeroplane, something like this, something metal, big metal, and carrying, because the carriage must mean carrying things. So that means there could be some transportation issues. Okay, transportation issues. And let's take a look at that. Okay. So yeah, it happened on the 6th November, 19 killed after plane plunges into Lake Victoria in Tanzania. Okay, so it's a metal carriage, So very good, Pepe, talking about vehicles. So airplane is also a form of vehicles. Okay, Kun Gua, I don't see any other things else, so let me skip this except for the aviation incident. Huan Gua. Wei Ji Gua, I see nothing. I catch nothing. So let's move on to Huan Gua. Huan Gua says the king arrived at the temple. Oh, suddenly there's a mention of a king. Okay, so maybe something to do with king or a leader, a great leader. Unable to fly high or far, working as an underling, wages no wealth. So here is like what do you call that? A king, a leader, and then suddenly talk about cannot fly high or far, working as an underling. That means there is a mention of a leader, maybe a boss, and then there's mention about an underling, and then talk about wages, talk about no wealth. What could happen? So this could be a sign of a failing economy because no wealth. I don't know. Let's take a look. Okay, but anyway, on that day, there's a flash flood, okay, in Malaysia. I don't know whether Alan felt it or not on the day 9 November or can't remember. Okay, and then on 9 November also, King Charles go and visit, I don't know where, visit where, I can't remember already, went somewhere, and then egg were thrown at him. Okay, so we mentioned about king, right? The king appears, right? So eggs were thrown at him. Luckily, miss him. Next, we talk about the wages, the underlings, and then no wealth, cannot go far. No, look at Mita. Mita on that day announced 11,000 job cuts. Okay, so really talking about underlings, talking about wages, talking about no wealth, cannot fly far, cannot fly high, right? So, retrenchment that happened on a 换卦. And 换卦 is about dispersing also, dispersing. So that means you are actually letting go people, right? Next, 蒙卦. Mengqua, nobody mentioned about Mengqua, but I saw that there's something happened, so I put it in as a slide. So let's talk about it. Mengqua, you know what's Mengqua, right? It actually can be learning, or it can be a Mengpi. That means I scam you, Okay, Meng, Okay, it says here useful ignorance. And then the bottom says the red thousand Li horse used to pull the emperor's carriage, elegant and poised in manners. The noble is capable of great work. The noble is capable of great work. It could mean the leader. And then Meng Gua, a scam. Okay, I don't know. Let's take a look what happened that day. Maybe that day nothing happened, but I found these articles. On that day, Russia ordered troops out of Ukrainian city of Kherson in major reversal. Now, let me ask you this. It happened on a Meng Gua. It happened on a Meng Gua. Now, if people would ask you, hey, this Russia, are they facing a very huge defeat by withdrawing from Kherson? What would be your view? What would be your view? If somebody will ask you, hey, Russia are retreating out of Kherson, are they going to defeat? Pepe say no. Okay, no. So look like a Mengqua is like a scam. A scam means, hey, no lah. This could be one of the strategic move. So yeah, if you take a look at it today, when they withdraw, they start to pump missiles into Ukraine, right? Every now and then, every few other days. Okay, and then now I think 80% is blackout, right? Totally blackout, no power. So I think they are making a move that can enable them to do missile falling. Okay, Ken, let's move on. 闲卦. Anything on 闲卦? I don't really see anything because let me see. There could be something. Okay, let me see here. A place of putrid stench, or very smelly, A gathering place of big butterflies, a place where black can't be distinguished from the white. Such is a country in disorder. The ruler chases after his minister, his glorious favor lost. Okay. Let me see what happened on that day. Istanbul, suspected terrorist, 6 dead, 81 injured. So anything to say here? Let me see. Oops. Maybe it's this bombing make the place like a putrid stench and a lot of butterflies, where the black can't be distinguished from white. That means already the place is in a ruin, okay, a wasted land, right? So this is what happened in Istanbul, one of the town, I think. Okay, 旅卦. Basically, when you look at 旅卦, 火山旅, it can mean people homeless, traveling and things like that, right? So when you look at this, look at the 教室一零, second and third brother thrive in trade, joyfully running a market. No worry, no danger, tenfold profit. It seems like this day is a good day, right? Second brother, third brother come together, thrive in trade. Okay, then there's economy, joyfully running a market, no worry, no danger, tenfold profits. It seems like this is a good day. So anything happen on that day? Yes, that day. Okay, a day that a lot of people in the market are looking out for. Biden and Xi first time. Okay, seek to avoid conflict as U.S. Chinese president meet in person for the first time in years. Right, and then I think they have discussed and agreed that they should look out for think of some ways to have a healthy competition between them. Right, so it seems to match this verse. Okay, so we have done up to 10 days. Philip say, wow, who is big brother then? I'm not too sure. Philip, seriously, I'm asking myself this question. Why they talk about second and third brother? What happened to the big brother? I'm thinking also. So maybe this eldest brother could be the big market player. The big market player that is supporting the political party. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Let's keep this within these four walls. Big whale JLo, perhaps, yeah. Okay, so now it's 3:36 already. We are not done with the flashback of the 2 months. Are y'all tired already? Did I cross the line too much? Should we go for a short break first? And then we come back to talk about the remaining 10 days. And then we go into the module 3, projecting into the 2 months. Shall we go for a short break? Okay, let me go to my break slides. Where's my break slides? Okay, break slides here. Okay, so I'll start the counter now, 10 minutes, and then be back in time. We will start on time in 10 minutes. Okay, so see you later. I hope all of you are back. Welcome back. So let's move on with the class. Where were we? We were here. We just finished the Feng Gua 10 days. So now we are at the Ji Ji Gua 10 days. Right? So Ji Ji Gua, look at the Ji Ji Gua. It seems here to say is that the stream lips guggling, flowing. It runs south without stopping. Hamlets and villages destroyed. The people lose their houses. The general attacks, conquering the enemy. Oh wow! Okay, so it seems like the war will continue, and we hope that this is just that war that we're talking about, and there's no other new war in these 10 days between 15 to 24. But this is already history. We know there's no new war going on except for the current one, which is Russia versus Ukraine, or Russia versus NATO US. Not too sure already nowadays, so blurry. Okay, let's move in. If they are fighting again, okay, if they are fighting in these 10 days, which are the days that we can see fighting going on? Point out the days. The overarching energy of the 10 days says that there will be, war, then if this is so, then which of the days in these 10 days they are likely, which day is it going to occur? Likely to occur. Pepe say can show previous slide. Isn't this in the workbook? Now, in the workbook, you'll find that you have every day, every day. Okay, but it's only here that when we talk through, I didn't go to every day to save time. Okay, so which are the days that's likely to have some fightings lah, war lah, attacks lah, missile bombing lah, things like that lah? Alan says 小过. Very good. I was eyeing on Xiao Guo also. Okay. Andrew said 2021. 2021 is a Pi Gua and Cui Gua. Okay, very good. So that means pretty recent, pretty recent. Okay, it's just this 10 days only. Okay, so Xiao Guo Gua, Pi Gua, Cui Gua. Right? So, yeah, okay. Perhaps maybe Jian Gua could be one of them also. Jian Gua. I don't know. Let's circle this, these 4 days. Pepe said 24th. 24th is Guan Gua. Guan Gua, Guan Gua. Okay. Guan Gua was just, is it yesterday? No, 2 days ago. Okay. Guan Gua was just 2 days ago. Yeah. So let's take a look. Xiao Guo Gua. Okay. Xiao Guo Gua says the flying birds let go his cries. Wow, flying mention of flying birds. So in modern days could mean aeroplane or fighter jets. Let go his cry. It means bombing again. Yeah, bombing again. Then Xiao Guo is about crossing the line a little bit. Okay, crossing the line a little bit. Right? In the AOM, I also mentioned about Xiao Guo is that if you don't contain the Xiao Guo, it will turn into a big monster you can't control later on. So Xiao Guo is very scary in the sense that, yeah, it's small, actually no harm. You still got a chance to play it down. Okay, 大事化小，小事化无 and 没有事。Okay, but if you choose to play it up, then it can become a 大过, I mean, into a monster we can't control. And yet we can see that there is a flying bird let go his cry. Oh my God. Okay, so let's hope that everybody practice self-restraint on that day, 小过过. Then 教室101 it says that the two wheels in motion together going up the great Soften hill, four forces hitched together. Nothing is difficult for a team, sharing jokes and laughter. This one sounds okay. Okay, this one sounds okay, but the 小过过 is just a 小过过. It's still a 小过过. So that means things can still go wrong. Okay, or crossing the line. So looking at the news, this is what I found on 15 November. Russian made missile landed in Poland, killing 2. Wow, this can be a big thing. Number one, it crossed into NATO country. Number two, it is Russian made. Can be a very big thing. Okay, but fortunately, every party practice self-restraint. In the end, they discover US came out to say that no, this can't be from Russia. Investigation shows that it is from Ukraine. Hey, okay, and then NATO also play down. NATO country also play down, say that okay, so this is Ukraine defensive missile, something like that, then become a stray missile into Poland. Okay, so everyone play down except for Zelensky lah, or everybody play down except for one that plays up lah. Okay, so luckily lor, 小过 we already said lor, if 小过 you don't 大事化小, it's going to blow up into a monster we can't control. 死不興啊, I call it 死不興 this day. Okay, and then remember here we say that here nothing is difficult for team, sharing jokes and laughter. In the end, everybody just take it as like nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay, no big deal. Heng. 简卦. Okay, 简卦 basically means cannot move forward. Pai ka lah, mean cannot move forward, cannot move backward, and it just trapped there, cannot move. So in the day, it means that dragging his wheels, wetting his tail, no blame. Okay, then here what? Eating golden mushroom cake, drinking jet flower illicit, and in communion with immortal, long without woe or disaster means here seems to say nothing happened, but 简卦 energy, that spell some troubles lah. So on that day, okay, although Russian say retreat from Kherson, right? But on that day, new wave of Russian strike battle Ukraine grid as first no force. Make everybody in Ukraine paika. Metaphorically speaking. 简卦. 牵卦, sorry, 牵卦. Is there anything about 牵卦? Let us see. 牵卦 says that, again, it says about eastern neighbor slaughters and otter that already happened. right? That already happened, right? Unless Russia is going to sacrifice something else, but I don't foresee that. And then here, 教士一零 says that in the land of Ming and Ti barbarian, the 阴气 concentrated hard life freezing. When was GE 15? Was it on 19 also on this day? 牵挂. I can't remember. Oh my god, my memory is so short. Okay, so it's in the land of Ming and Ti, and then the ink tea is concentrated, hard ice and freezing cold, hard for a noble to survive. So it means that in the land of Ming and Ti, that means there are a lot of parties involved. Okay, there are many parties involved. The ink tea is concentrated, so hard for a noble to survive means very hard to have a clear winner. Can we say that if let's say GE 15 falls on that day. I can't recall. Is it 19 or 20th? The GE 15. Alan, could you recall which day you go for polling? Let me see. 14, 19, 19. Yes, it should be 19 because that day I was having a class, right? Thank you, Fiona. 19, 19. So yeah, so that means GE 19, if we want to see whether what is the outcome, it seems to say that it's a hard fight because there are a lot of parties involved and it's hard for a noble to survive. That means we can't expect to see a clear winner. And indeed, this was so, right? Everybody, 牵挂 is like everybody giving way to everybody. In the end, everybody also win. Okay. Next, the next day. Okay, the next day, 皮卦, right? 皮卦 basically means choke pipe, means cannot move lah. The water cannot flow lah. So Malaysia was in a situation of a choke pipe since 19 November after the GE 15 because no government. Even though there's a caretaker prime minister, but practically there's no clear winner, no clear government. Yeah. So it's in a state of choke pipe. And what it says here, it is always good to cease the obstruction. Always good to cease the obstruction. Okay. And then next one is 6 joy, 3 blessing, arriving in the land of joy without those rejoicing. With those rejoicing, we too rejoice, maintaining our moral excellence. Now, the way I look at it is that even though, let's talk about Malaysia, since we're talking about GE 15, polling on 19, no clear winner, 20, choke pipe situation. Yet it says here 6 joy, 3 blessing, means everybody can be equal winner. It seems to be so. There are so many parties out there that could potentially become the government. And one of them could be the prime minister. And therefore, it says 6 joy, 3 blessing. It means everybody seems to be a winner, a possible winner. Okay. But then we know also the Malaysian king came out to say that, hey, by certain day, the parties with the most seat have to present their numbers. So to form the unity government. So let's move on. 翠卦. Okay. 翠卦 is energy of grouping together. 翠卦嘛, clustering. Clustering. People come together, form a cluster, and then they form government. So this is what is happening in Malaysia. Okay. So the next few days after the polling, right? All the parties trying to cluster together to form the unity government. Okay. And let's look at the 教士一零. I say the king arrives at the temple. The king got to come out to say something. All right, to say form the unity government. Okay, appropriate to see the great person, success, appropriate and correct, using a large sacrificial animal in auspicious, appropriate wherever you go. Blah blah blah. Okay, so in the end, the king got to step out to say, please go and find your team. Okay, and then form the unity government. The king extended the deadline. Then 折地翠. Okay, 折地翠, the way I look at it, 地 is actually earth, 对卦 is actually broken. So it is like an earth broken. Okay, earth broken could mean landslide or earthquake. In this case, on this day, 21st November, 折地翠 day, Indonesian quake. Earthquake killed more than 160, and then they are still continuing their search for survivors. Now, on this day, 22nd, 火地镜. Okay, 火地镜 seems to see that the situation in Malaysia seems to be able to have a breakthrough because it's advancing, 火地镜, right? And then lenient punishment, encourage crime, blah blah blah. Okay, fine. Now here it says dwelling in the dark obscurity. Wrong. No, 火地镜. 火地镜 means there's nothing much I can say. Okay, Pepe say can tell who is the new Malaysia PM if doing future reading. You may not tell, but you may make your best guess by the verse, by the thing. Later on, I'll show you. Okay, by whatever is being shown in the verse. All right, because verses are being written in such an obscure way that you cannot be specific enough. Say who would be the new PM, but there is some telltale sign. Later, I share with you. When was Anwar sworn in as the PM? Which day was it? Anybody can recall? Okay, 雷地狱 on the 23rd November. It says here dwelling in dark obscurity, or that means that day will be a dark day for some part of the world. Okay, so it means if we're going to link it back to Russia, Ukraine, that means you can expect a day of bombing on that day again, because that will cause your Ukraine town or city to be in darkness. That's number one. Next, talking about Malaysia. Waiting for the breaking light. In the space of a moment, the sun appears. A leader renowned throughout the world. That mean either 23rd or 24th, a leader might be born. Can I say that? Can I say that? It seems to indicate, right? We are waiting for the sun to come out. And once the sun comes out, a leader is going to be born and known throughout the world. Right? So that means the new PM probably will be announced on 23rd or 24th November. So let's take a look at what happened on 23rd. Okay, 23rd, as expected, Russia came in to bomb Ukraine again. Right? So therefore, the title says here, Ukrainians suffer in cold darkness as President implore UN to punish Russia. That happened on the 雷地狱卦. Now, nothing talk about Anwar. Okay, so therefore, but we know the king is in the the leader is in the making already. So therefore, it could be likely on 24th. Guan Gua. Why? Because people are looking at it. People are observing it. People are expecting certain things already. Remember in AOM, I talk about Ling Gua and Guan Gua, Di Zhe Ling and Feng Di Guan. Okay, they are the mirror effect. Their mirror effect meaning, okay, in 8 months' time, you must show result. Therefore, Guan Gua. Okay, so let's take a look at Guan Gua. It says here, don't look at this, look at the 教师一零. Bound up, subsisting on grill, jailed unjustly by the slander of another, Duke Zhao and Duke of Zhou make a tour of inspection, safe and greatly blessed. Who are bound up and subsisting on grill, jailed unjustly by the slander of another, okay, now is safe and greatly blessed. Who are? Thank you, Pei. So can you see, it won't name you specifically who will be the new PM. But looking at how the energies go from 19 November, from the Qian Gua to the Pi Gua, to the Cui Gua, to the Jing Gua, Yu Gua, and then subsequently in the Guan Gua, are you able to infer 推理? Okay, 推理. And in addition, if you were like Philip, who had been talking about this thing, Anwar, and then you see a symbolism about a 地水师, then you can connect the dots together to say that I'm pretty sure Anwar will get the job. You get my point? Okay, so that's the beauty of I Ching. All right, it gives you a lot of information, but you have to connect the dots. So Pepe, can you connect the dots now? So indeed, true, on 24th, Anwar was sworn in as the Malaysia new PM. Is that okay? So that sums up the 10 days for Ji Gua. And then Pi Gua is the next 10 days. And then here, today is 26. So we are only into the second day of this 10 day. So, but never mind, we just do a projection from here onward. So can you see that up to now, can you see these three main themes that we set out to say what is the three themes that can sum up this 2 month or these 60 days? Basically, is the east-west tension, the water issue, and the crowd danger. Okay, so you can actually do this on your own and do your own maybe your YouTube 预言 prediction. All right, see how much you can get it correct. Any questions so far? Let's skip this one here.